make it right. But too long was the night I kept you guessing. It's all I can do, all I can do, and hope that maybe you'll come around again. All I see is the wonder of devotion. It doesn't come free. Our heart is a house for love, and I've learned that it don't take much to break a heart. It's a house for love, and I've learned that it don't take much to break it up. Build it up, build it up, build it up. Fire heartbeats, baby. What's going on? I'm back. What's good people? What's happening? Here we go again with yet another breakdown. Let's do it. First and foremost, we're going to jump right on into this thing. Let me give a relationship rehab salute to none other than Darcy Ann, first one in the chat. Then give a shout out to my man Jason Gunn. Yes, sir. Following right behind, I got my man Nash. Yeah, buddy. And shit. Oh, Miss Heather, what's happening? And any and everybody else that's gonna fall on in, let's fall on in and let's do it. I keep forgetting to do this damn shit. Hold on. I meant to do my damn Instagram and my whatchamacallit, but I forgot to do the shit twice. Hey, babe, man. What are you going to do, man? Yeah. But we're going to go ahead and do the damn thing, and we're going to check out this young Ayesha Curry. Now, Ayesha Curry, I'm almost to the point to say she's down there broke the internet with all this shit she got going on with just a simple statement that she made. And man, we're going to check it out and see what's going on, and I'm going to give my perspective, and y'all can chime on in, and we can do like we did on the last one. I like that last show. It was real good. Thanks to everybody that participated and came on through. Oh, shout out to Chorus 15. Shout out to Natalie V. That's what's going on. Good to see you guys. Let's go ahead, and while I'm doing this thing on Instagram and Twitter, I'm going to go ahead and let this sexy lady come talk to us for about a good hot 28 seconds of sex and sultriness.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
There we go. So, I think that is all I needed. Yep, for that, and we should be good. Yes, and that should share. Did it? Nope. There we go. Okay. Shared. So, what did y'all think of that last show? If you can, let me know. I'm gonna send this next tweet on Twitter, and we gonna get it cracking, good people. Paste, bam. Then we gonna hit the, yep, hit that right there. Tweet that again, and it's off. All right. Y'all loved it. Good. I'm glad. I loved it too. I thought it was good. It was good. It was educational. It was funny. Had some good moments. I appreciated everybody. that came through and checked it out. I had a really good time with y'all. Like I always have a good time with y'all though. I can't remember the last time I did a show that I didn't feel good about. I don't know. I guess it's I know a couple of times in just the short YouTube career that I've had, I've like tried to kind of like when I was trying to like do shows like all the time, like I think I was doing like every Wednesday, or every Tuesday or something. But some of those days I wasn't feeling up to it, and I felt like one or two of the shows were like forced, and I kind of saw that early, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. So if I don't really feel it, if I'm not feeling up to it, because I got other shit going on, I got a wife, I got a daughter, I got family, I got work and all that type of stuff too. So if I don't feel good, I don't do it. So because I always want to give you guys my best. That's just my thing. That's just my standard of work, my quality and all that good stuff. I'm more into quality than into quantity. So I just want to make sure, because I of course want to build the channels up and all that kind of stuff, and I want to create good content though at the end of the day, because whether it's being watched today or whether it's being watched 10 years from now, I want this content to actually mean something. So when I'm not doing shows, it's not that I don't want to, it's just that, hey, either I got something going on family wise, work wise, or it's just something else that's keeping me from doing it where I don't feel up to it. So I'm glad I've been able to do that. I have been proud of the shows we've been doing and all that good stuff lately. So I feel real good about it. Since I've been here in Texas, I've been feeling really good about the content that I've been creating and everybody participating. And I'm just really looking for ways to just do more and more content. So I've been thinking about doing some different things, and I'm maybe in the next stream or two, I'll talk about those things, just doing a little something different, adding a little more spice, if you will, to the channels, and see if we can, make some good stuff happen. So as long as it's creating good content, that's what I'm all about. So what's up with it, honey cut? What's up with the UFO kamikaze? So let's go ahead and let's dive right in. So for those of you who don't know, or maybe watching this for the first time, Ayesha Curry said some shit on this Red Table Talk, and which is Jada. Let me say this. Let me stop for a second. Well, I'll just finish this up. She said some shit that kind of like got a lot of conversation going about what she said, the way she said it, and people have had some mixed feelings about what Ayesha Curry said, and we're gonna get to that part. But first and foremost, I want to say this about the Red Table Talk. This is Jada Pinkett's show that she does. It's on Facebook, I believe. That's when it airs. And I must say, Jada Pinkett and what she's doing, she usually has her daughter on there all the time, and she has different guests. Her daughter and her mama, they do this show, and they have different people on there. And for the most part, it's predominantly women, which is cool. But I will say this: I like the content that she's creating for two reasons. Number one, she's holding women kind of accountable for shit, and also I like the fact that she's starting the conversation and doing something that is truly genuine. I can say from my perspective and from what I've seen, the shit that she does, and if you haven't watched it, just watch it. Click on a show or two on Facebook and just see and you'll see what I'm talking about. I may not agree with everything that she says, but I can truly say that her content, when she creates it, as shout out to her, her content is really genuine. The shit that she's doing, she means that shit. It's really her energy, her soul. She's putting her all into this shit, and I truly respect that to her. So Jada Pinkett, wherever you at, if you watching this, yes, I'm a small YouTuber, but I really do appreciate what you are doing and the work that you're doing, because it's genuine, and it's not a lot of just true, genuine content, especially on a coming from a celebrity and a person of your stature. You don't get that, and I must really give a shout out to you. One of the people I used to really like watching was the chick on the lady on Ayana Van Zant. I used to like watching her content. Early on in the beginning, that first like season or two of her show, her content was really genuine. Now it, to me, has totally gone 180. It's totally on the other side. I see so many moments of her trying to entertain, her trying to grandstand, and I think it really takes away from her true talent. And it's like I've seen her get like that before, and she's even acknowledged her getting to that point before, to where Ayanna, thinks, she's larger than life, and she's Ayanna Van Zant. Woman, hear me roar. She has that type of vibe, and she grandstands a lot, and there's a lot of entertainment in her show now, and it's kind of disappointing at a turn off, because I think that at one point, especially for a lot of women and men alike, she had a lot of good moments where she was doing some really good work. But now it's so watered down, in my opinion, to where she's trying to bring too much of an entertainment factor. And I get it. It's a show and people want to see entertainment. I get it. I totally understand that piece. But just for me, and I ain't knocking her or nothing like that. I ain't telling people not to watch her, no crazy shit like that. But I just think that the entertainment piece that she's adding to it, I think it takes away from her true gift. I just do. But because she says some really thought-provoking things, but it's like now she does all this other stuff, and then she got this that smoker's laugh. She be doing that shit. It's just not what it used to be. But nevertheless, it is what it is, and we all gotta eat. We all gotta do what we gotta do to keep that check coming. So hey, I ain't mad at her, but I definitely want to just give a shout out and give a salute to Jada Pinkett. I really like what she's doing with her show, and I hope it keeps developing into something to where it is really challenging for women, because I truly believe that the thing about just where our women are today, I think there has to be an accountability piece that's going to have to come from women to truly right the ship and get us back to those true values and core values, and those traditional man and woman bringing the family back together, which is something I think we just truly need in our country today, and even more so in our community as black folks. I think that we've lost the art of and the science of the family and its true purpose and what it can do for us and the power that it brings by having that. So I definitely think that that she is in the beginning stages of actually bringing that accountability piece from a woman's perspective to the forefront. So I like that, and shout out to her for that. She still has her moments where it's all about the feminine power thing, but I do see the good moments and the good part in that. So I wanted to just acknowledge that good piece that she does. Moving right along, what did Jason say? Let me see what you're talking about, bro. You said, please read my comment. You said, Brian, please read my comment. Go back up. Great show and perspective. Well, thank you, sir. Let me make sure that was it. Last show was awesome. My man, appreciate it. I like curry Singapore movie noodles. What does that mean? I don't know. She is crushing him inside out. Oh, you're talking about the Steph Curry thing. She is being paid by someone or being told to do this act. I don't know, man. It's kind of, well, let's just get into it, and then we can do our thing from there. Let's get into it.
It's a red table first.
We are in North Carolina.
We've come to the private home of basketball's royal family to meet the queens of the Curry dynasty. Now, the men may dominate the court, but these women run the kingdom. Sonia, the matriarch, married NBA veteran Del Curry 30 years ago. Their oldest son, Steph, is one of the greatest players ever. He was just 15 when he met Ayesha, who became his wife, and a one-woman empire. She's a superstar chef, a cover girl, and the mother of their 3 children. Their middle child, Seth Curry, is also an NBA baller. He's newly engaged to Callie Rivers, the mother of his child, and daughter of NBA legend Doc Rivers. The youngest Curry, Sadell, is a social media influencer who married yet another NBA player, Damian Lee.
We heard this is the biggest table yet. Yes. We like setting records.
So I'm gonna tell you something that I didn't know about this.
Thank you for welcoming us into your beautiful family home. We appreciate that. Being here with you guys, I can feel the warmth and the energy of the women.
The reason, at first, I was just gonna play the clip of what she said and go from there. But yeah, this is like on like location right now. They went out to where they're at. But the first thing, because this is Dale Curry's, family essentially. Dale Curry the king. They talking all that. Yeah, these women run the kingdom. Dale Curry's the king of all this shit right here. Because them his sons and his daughter that they talking about, and so Jada and her team went out there. So, but the thing is that what she said and in the context in which she said it, I think was important to play. So that's why I didn't like just cut this little part out like everybody else is doing. They just cutting out this one little piece that she's saying, and they just going from there. So I didn't think that was fair. So I kind of wanted to just go through this part here and let you all see the conversation and where it went to as to why she said what she said.
And in this family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I won't be able to get through this whole thing without crying, so.
that makes you and I know I'm already teary. But, every family is not like that.
Yeah.
Every family is not
family
like
can
that.
be the hardest relationships.
Yeah.
Actually.
This is like real NBA wife partnership, fiance superstardom situation happening right here, because people think about the glory side of it. I don't think that people really understand what it takes for women to hold the positions that we have to hold.
So let me break this down. Starting from, I guess, my left. Is that my left? Yeah. Well, my right. So first you have Ayesha Curry. That's Steph Curry's wife. That's the lady with the black hair. Next to her, or to her left, is Steph Curry's mom. I forgot her name, but she's a Curry too. Then you have Steph Curry's, I think that's their little sister. Yeah. Or is that, no, that is not Steph Curry's little sister. That's Seth. No, that is Steph Curry's little sister. That's his little sister right there. Then you got Jada. Then over here, you have Seth Curry's, Seth, not Steph, Seth. That's the younger brother. That's his wife. No, stop, I'm fucking up. That's his wife. The one with the red hair is Seth Curry's wife. Then over here, no, it's backwards. I'm fucking up. Let's go back.
Standing with
She
our
gonna say
men.
it.
Right.
How many years have you been married?
30 years.
Wow.
30 years, because I'm on 21.
Wow.
You can make it.
That's Steph Curry's, that's Steph Curry's sister right there. And she is married to another dude in the NBA. And then the other lady that's next to Jada, that's on the other side of Jada, that's Seth Curry's wife. There we go. And then you got Willow, who looked just like Will Smith, and Jada's mama.
It's possible.
Yeah, our partnership, we don't even really call it a marriage anymore. We call it a partnership. We're life partners. We're in a different stage of our union.
Yeah,
I know that unions go through many stages.
Yes. I met him at 18.
Yeah.
I've been with him since then. So to go from 18 to now being 53, you're like, who is this person from 18 to 53?
Yeah. Pause right there for 1 second. This woman says she's 53. Right? Let me tell you something. You don't know 53.
That's right.
Every year,
No,
it's
keep
better
going.
and better and better and better.
Yes. Okay, go ahead. I didn't want to stop. Go ahead.
In each stage, different things fuel the marriage.
Right.
And there's different types of commitments at different levels. So
There you
my first
go.
commitment was more, you're committed to the person because you're in love.
Yes.
The second one, you're committed to the family. Because you got to build this, and to some degree, you committed to kids. You know, when you're going through bumpy times, we got to think about our kids. And then the third part is, whoa, nobody's here. It's us, and who are you? And he looks at me and goes, "You're not that 18-year-old that was gaga over me." And I'm looking at him going, "Okay, you don't quite look the same as you do." I got a little bit of that in me too.
Right.
Things change, and you start going, "Oh, okay." Well, you look at that and you're like, who are you personality-wise?
Right.
And what do I now want to do with me in the time that I have? And it's challenging. There can be some real rough times in that.
Would you say?
So let me just stop right there. Let me say this from a relationship rehab perspective. So when you're talking about just the transition in one person's life, you have different phases. You go through different things and you grow. Life is organic. You're always changing. Things are developing. Things are always changing within you. And when it's two people doing that, you are sharing a life together. You're sharing your lives together. That does happen. However, one of the things that I did like that she said, she's keeping the things that are most important at the forefront. And that requires a bit of selflessness, to where she said, yeah, when it first started out, I was 18 and I was in love with this hot basketball player. Then as I transitioned, I became a mother, and I realized the importance of me being a mom and being there for my children, and not just being there, but also having a stable home environment for my children. And now that my children are grown, I've gotten into a thing to where, yeah, I've changed, my husband changed, and yet and still, we still find a way to be able to maintain our relationship and let the things that have happened, to us through life, we haven't let that deteriorate our relationship and our friendship. And I like the fact that she pointed that out, because that is so important, because so many people, especially in today's time, get so wrapped up in themselves and they become so selfish to where they lose sight of those things. The fact of the matter is, when you first meet somebody, especially at the age of 18 years old, a lot of shit is going to change over the years. But when you can go through those transitions and keeping those things that are most important, like your children, like the legacy of your family and things like that, you not only, show and do what's best for your children, but you're also, she understood the fact that she's a part of building a legacy. And look at her children now. Look at her children now. Look at the state of their family now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, yes, there were ups and downs and changes and things like that that took place in that family, but she kept what was most important and held on to that. And to Dale's credit, he did too. In spite of all of the other shit that may have happened, we don't know the innermost details of their marriage, but we do know that what they did and what they cared about most, they kept at the forefront, which was their family. And through that, they used that to build and to grow from, so that they could say, well, hey, we're going to do what's best for our children. We're going to do what's best for our family. We're going to do what's best so that we can build a legacy and build some type of foundation for our children's children to be able to live off of. And I think that speaks volume as to the type of people that they are and their character and all of the things that they're doing. I think it speaks volumes to what most women and men should strive for in today's time, because to be married 30 years and to have money and celebrity, it's very difficult. And you don't see that every day. You just don't. You don't see somebody who is that type, who leads that type of lifestyle, really stay together, and not only just stay together for themselves, for their own sake and for their own happiness, but they stay together for their children and their grandchildren. And it's like, you truly get to reap the true benefits and the fruits of life when you do that. And a lot of people today don't even think that far in advance. They're so caught up in what they want right now in the moment. They're so caught up in what about me and what about what I want and what about how I feel and what about what I'm going through, that they don't think about the other responsibilities and the other obligations that they have in life, like their children. Because we've gotten so accustomed to, when we got kids, yeah, we can raise them together, but if shit ain't working out for me, we can raise them apart. And not thinking about the damage that does to a child, to a teenager, to a young adult, when they don't have their parents together. That shit of single parenting, co-parenting, it's a bunch of bullshit. And I will keep and continue to say that. People that try to make that shit okay, they're fucking fools. Plain and simple. Single parenting and co-parenting is garbage. It's trash. It is one of the main components to deteriorating our society. When you look at all of the people that have the mental instabilities, you look at all the people that have the social problems, all of the social misfits, all of the people that, live their lives through the internet, it's because of things like that, to where they have broken families. You have a broken family, all that, well, they live 2 miles away, or we 20 miles apart, we 15 minutes apart, and I get my kids on the weekend and we see each other for holidays. You're doing your children a disservice. And people trying to make themselves feel better, that by fooling themselves and telling the lie that they're still good mothers and fathers, even though they're separated, you are cheating your children, and you're cheating your children out of a family dynamic and mental health perspective as well. It's just not good. And to try to make it seem like in today's time that it is, it's a bunch of horse shit. And it's one of the main reasons why our society functions the way that it does today.
That you rebelled against being...
I did.
Yeah, you rebelled
there was
against
a point where it was like, I don't want to be Sonya Curry. Like, I have a thing where I made my goals, and it was like, be financially independent, da-da-da-da-da. And ironically, I was never financially independent and always was Del Curry's wife. It was like I was spinning my wheels, just trying to be a little bit of cankerous and just rebellious, with it. But
I think I've been that throughout my whole marriage.
You definitely passed it down to your kids. You can say it like that.
That's so interesting. A light bulb just went off in my head. I'm like, that might be your situation, Jada. Just pure rebellion. Ayesha, what would you say is some of the best advice you've received in regards to managing what comes with being a partner to, I call a spotlight athlete?
Well, first of all, I think we've all been very blessed to have an example for us. And a lot of people in our situations don't have that.
Yeah.
And so they enter into this big, crazy world and they go a little crazy. But the one thing I think that I've taken away from Mom, she's very strong and powerful. She's always been able to balance her wants and needs along with her children's wants and needs and her husband's wants and needs. And she's always done it with grace. That's kind of why I need to make sure that I have something for myself as well as my marriage, because one, it's going to make me happy and full. I'm going to be a better parent.
Yep.
Two, it's going to make my husband a better person as well, because then he has this strong woman next to him who, has her own wants and needs and knows what she wants.
Exactly.
And so I feel like I have greater value and passion, and I'm just a happier person that way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Willow, I wish she would just stop saying that. That's the one thing I don't like. Everything they say, it's yeah. And there'll even be moments where all three of them will say that shit at the same time. Like, yeah. That shit is annoying. But here's one of the things that she said, and one of the things I think should be pointed out. You have to have, or you have to be responsible for, I'll say that, for your own identity in a marriage, in a relationship, whatever the case may be. You have to be responsible for your own identity in a relationship or marriage, partnership, whatever the case may be. You have to be. And here's why. Because it is not the other person's responsibility to create an identity for you. It is not the other person's responsibility to make sure that you are being who you want to be in the relationship. You need to make sure that who you are and the things that you like to do, the things that you want to do, who you want to become, all of that wonderful stuff, you need to make sure that you are the person who is making sure that that is satisfying enough for you. And when it's not, it is up to you to bring that to the forefront. Now, with that being said, you still have to keep in mind that you are partners. This is a partnership. This is not something to where you could just say, oh, it's all about me. No, that's not how it goes. It can't be, oh, this is all about me now. And because I feel that this is that, then I want to do this. No, you still have to do what's best for the company, but you can still have your own identity within the company. But you are still, nevertheless, first and foremost, a partner. That's what a partnership is. That's what a relationship is. And the way that you all relate to each other needs to make sure that that is at the forefront. It's not about you. It's not about him. It's not about her. It's about an us thing. It's a team sport. That's what a relationship is. A relationship, a marriage, it's a team sport. And ain't no I in team. Plain and simple. I know some asshole somewhere saying, yeah, but it's a me. Right. But the point of the matter is that you have to make sure that those things that you want, and this comes in the beginning of a relationship, you need to make sure that you all are compatible enough, and need to make sure that you all can both look out for each other's best benefit. You need to make sure that this relationship benefits the both of you equally. It is your job to make sure that the relationship is fulfilling enough for you, and same thing for the other person.
Definitely. And so that's something that it's been hard.
Yeah.
It hasn't been easy.
What's been the most difficult part of it for you?
Trying to figure out how to balance work life, mom life, and being a wife. And sometimes I want to give up the work life because I feel like, am I cheating my children of my quality time with them?
Oh, that little girl, no, she looked just like Steph. But that's a great point. I want to say this, and I'm going to give kudos to her. She definitely has Steph's mom's mentality. She wasn't saying, well, I want to make sure I got myself out here first and I got what I like to do out first. She's like, man, I'm thinking about, am I cheating my kids? Am I cheating my husband? I want to make sure that those two things are at the forefront and that those two things are being taken care of first, which I believe is a exceptional quality to have. Plain and simple. If you're not in a position to where you don't want to sacrifice, those things that you not give it up completely, but be willing to compromise and to change certain things that you need to be able to take care of your children and to do what's best for your family, because your relationship, your marriage is the most important thing. And to some degree, not to say that you have to give up everything, and nobody's saying that, but you still need to be able to give up and compromise those certain things for the betterment of the group and for the family. You have to have that about you, because if you're not, then it's just going to be about you anyway, which means you don't need to be in a marriage or relationship in the first place. You just don't. If it's all about you, or if it needs to be about you, then you don't need to be in that position in the first place. You're just not ready to be in a marriage. And there are some people that aren't cut out for marriage. There are some people that are not cut out for that type of commitment to a partnership. It just is. Everybody's not meant to have a partner in their business. There are some people that need to be sole proprietors, need to be just their business and their thing, and that's what they do. And with that comes a sacrifice of saying, no, you don't need to have a gang of kids and you trying to do your own thing. You just don't. Because because the children take two to make them, and it takes two to raise them. And if you don't want to sacrifice that part of what you're doing and what you got going to do that, you should not have them. Plain and simple. Thank you for, let me stop the press real quick. Thank you for that BS. Fake. Yeah, shit is annoying and I can't watch. And after I see Jada bring Jordan on and take her side, I said, oh, hell no. You're going to take that thought side because your families are longtime friends. That's, I don't know what the SF, I don't know what the hell that means. But, yeah. All right. Keep it moving.
Am I cheating my husband out of me solely being there for him all the time? It takes a lot of quiet time, solitude, searching within yourself, taking a deep breath and being like, okay, no, this is okay. I got this. Because I spent a little while not doing these things, and I think I was kind of miserable.
Oh, I'm with you. I went through that phase of not working and okay, I'm just going to concentrate on my kids. I'm going to concentrate on my husband. And I turned into a terror.
Well, and then look what happens. Your children grow up and then they leave and they start their own beautiful lives. And then you're left with the person you started it all with, saying, who am I? And so I just want to make sure that when that happens, I'm good and I still have a sense of self.
Yeah.
I think for me, honestly, right now,
So let me stop and say this. This is one of the main reasons, I said this a while ago. This is one of the main reasons why I said one of the biggest mistakes that young women make is that they get into relationships, they get into marriages, and they get into having children, and they have not established themselves. And what I mean by that is you don't know what you want to do, what you want to be, and you have not set yourself up for that. And a lot of women do that because they living off of their ass, their titties, and their looks and their sex. That's what they do. They put that out front to get the shit that they want because they want to live a lazy ass lifestyle. And they think that if I suck and fuck good enough, I can get the shit that I want. Well, that gets old. And when you look up, you're 30, you're 35, and you don't have shit accomplished for yourself. All you've been is somebody else's woman, and you've been somebody else's pretty little thing. And you fuck yourself that way. Literally. You fuck yourselves over. So many young women make this mistake. They do not go out, get their education, get their job skills, their skills set together, and get financially stable to where they can provide for themselves, have a life for themselves, and know what they want to do and become. They don't do it. And then they have this awakening once their ass starts sagging, once their titties don't sit up no more, once they get wrinkles in their bodies. Now they see you ain't the prettiest motherfucker in the room no more. Now you want to have some type of life that has purpose. And it's very, very, very difficult and damn near impossible in a lot of cases to do that when you've been using your body all this time. Ever since your ass started developing and you started getting a little titty and a little ass and you've been getting the attention of all these men, you've been thinking that you fine enough and your looks gonna take you where you want to go because men want to fuck you. And you use that to manipulate men. You use that to manipulate situations. And that shit works. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit works. But it's a small ass window. Because you go from the point of just being fine and having a perfect body and being sexy and all that shit fades and it is fleeting. And then by the time you get a little older, you ain't the finest, prettiest motherfucker in the room no more. So now other men are looking at other women. And the men that will still look at you, you have to realize that now you're competing with just your body. And your body changes. Bitch, you get fat. You get stretch marks, you get sagging, you get a stomach, you get all that shit that happens. You talk about, I had kids for you and now I got this stomach and I'm fat now. Yeah, but you should have built yourself a foundation when you was 18, 19, 20, 24 to where you can say, yeah, now I can do what it is that I initially set out to do. Now I still have this skill set. Yes, I can still do this. Yes, I can still do that. And you're not trying to find yourself and find purpose when you 35. Talk about now I'm going to go back to nursing school. Or I'm going back to phlebotomy school. I'm going to go be a phlebotomist now. Or I'm going to go get into this now. Or I'm going to get into fashion. Or I'm going to get into cooking. I'm going to be a chef. All that shit you try to get into because you didn't take that time when you were young to actually build something for yourself. I tell women all the time, make sure before you get with a man, before you have his baby, before you move in, before you do any of that shit, you be financially stable enough to where you can take care of yourself and you can provide for yourself completely. I ain't talking about working no job to where you making just enough to pay off your credit cards and your monthly bills. I'm talking about to where you are financially stable enough to where you can provide for yourself and maintain your own lifestyle completely. Car, house, clothes, food, clothing, shelter, all that. You need to be able to provide that for yourself before you move in with a dude, before you have a baby with a dude, before you get married to a dude. You need to be able to do that. Because at the end of the day, when you get older, those things become intangible. Those are the things that make a man, when you are 35 and 40, see the true value in you. Yeah, your titties may be a little saggy, but you can cook. Yeah, you may have a little flatter ass now, but you have an education. You make 6 figures. You can your body don't look the way it used to look and you done put on 30 pounds. But you can run a fucking business because you're trained. You have a skill set. And you ain't just walking around with your ass out in red bottom talking about you an Instagram model. You didn't spend your motherfucking 20s doing that stupid shit. You actually built something for yourself and built a skill set to where you can build a life with someone. You have a lot more to bring to the table than just your ass, your pussy, and your mouth. That's one of the biggest mistakes that young women make. They think that that shit is enough, and it's not. It's just not. Because that shit is fleeting. You don't stay the way you looked at 18. Your pussy ain't as tight as it used to be. Your ass don't sit up like it used to. Your titties don't sit up like it used to. Your mouth ain't as wrinkle-free as it was. All that shit changes. And to most men, that's okay. When you have a career, when you have other skill sets, when you can take care of a kid, when you can be a pleasant person, when you can have true happiness and joy within yourself instead of expecting somebody else to build up your self-esteem. That's when you shift and you're able to have the tools to be able to shift. Because now you can say, well, shit, yeah, I know I don't look like this no more, but I can do this. I can run this house. I can pay these bills. I can build this empire. I can work this job. I can create this job. I can go do these things. I have these skill sets that I can use to actually be of value to not just myself, but of value and a benefit to somebody else. And on top of that, you can still be an outstanding mother. You can still be a great partner. You can still be a great lover. You can still do all of those things. Men will fuck anything at the end of the day. Dick get hard enough, pussy get wet, hey, we gonna do it at the end of the day. So that shit don't matter. Yeah, we may like a young tender, but at the end of the day, if you got a bunch of other skill sets, you got a bunch of other things going for you, you bringing more shit to the table than just your pretty face and your fat ass, trust me, men will see the true value in that. We just will. We don't just, this is what we may like, but that ain't what we dead set on. When we young, yep. But when we get older, we see the value in that shit. Men see the value in a good attitude. Men see the value in a person who's just simply pleasant, who is simply nice, who actually smiles, all that type of shit, who is feminine, who don't mind doing for their man, taking care of their man, catering to their family, those type of things. That shit matters. And it matters more than, like you said, a gut. It matters more than some sagging titties. It matters more than that. Trust me. A real man is going to look past that shit. Now, if you an older woman and you still think you going to get a young, ripped, six-pack having ass nigga, then you fucking delusional. Because that six-pack having ass young nigga, he can have a six-pack having ass young woman. And you sit there talking about, yeah, but I got tricks. I know things that those young women don't know. You can fool yourself with that bullshit, but it ain't going to last. Set your life up to where, and build your life up to the point where you can have something that is of substance and that will last. Make sure that you have those things about yourself that you know are fucked up. Fix those things. Because there's plenty of women that'll say, yeah, I know I get mad sometimes and I have a bad attitude. I know I can be a bitch. I know I can do. That's the shit you need to worry about fixing, because that's the shit that will leave your ass lonely. That's the shit that will leave your ass broke up. That's the type of shit that will leave your ass being a side bitch. That's the type of shit that will have your man out fucking another chick, even though he's sitting there telling you he with your ass. Because your fucking attitude sucks. Because that ugly fat woman that treats that man good, a real man, long enough, and enough time goes by, he will appreciate that over your motherfucking kind of fine attitude having ass. That's why when women be seeing men with these fat chicks, with these ugly chicks, Them motherfuckers know how to treat somebody. They know how to be nice. They know how to cater and make their men feel good. They know how to make their men feel like kings. Ain't no man on this green earth that's gonna sit there and tell you he don't want his woman to make him feel like he is the greatest shit to happen to her and their family and her life ever since fucking sliced bread, fire, and water. That's what they want. Plain and simple. Men, we want that. We want to, no matter what the fuck we do out in the world, we want to come home to a fucking kingdom. Whether it's 500 square feet or whether it's 15,000. It don't matter. And a woman is what makes a house a home. Y'all always talk that shit. You give me some groceries, I make you a meal. You give me a house, I turn it into a home. Well, stand by that shit. Because that's what men look for. That's what we truly, honestly want and desire. We want our own little family. We want to have our own little life, our own little kingdom, our own little castle. And we want a woman to just treat us like the king we are. And when you get that, that's when women, you will truly become queens. You can't be a queen without a king. You got to be a king at some point throughout the lineage in order for you to become a queen. There has to be that moment of just saying, I'm going to build this motherfucking dude up to the point to where he going to feel like he is just the greatest shit ever when he's here. I don't know what the fuck may happen at his job. I don't know what may happen when he out with his friends. I don't know what may happen when he out in them streets. When he's home, I'm going to make him feel like he is the best fucking thing that ever happened to me and my family. And when we have that feeling, you have our undying support, our undying loyalty, our undying everything. We will give it to you. We will run through a fucking brick wall for you. I'm just telling you, that's what it is. Take it for what it is. Take it for what it's worth. You can believe me. You can say I'm full of shit. I'm telling you what I know. That's what men do. We want families. We want legacy. We want to leave a better version of ourselves behind in this world. That's what we do. We want to build a legacy. We want to be able to say, I did that. That's my daughter. That's my son. And there's a huge part that a woman plays in that. And I think that to some degree, these women have some type of understanding of that.
5 months in, 6 months in to marriage. And I'm struggling a little bit because, like, I'm married, you have this idea about what marriage is going to be like. You get to see your spouse all the time. But with their career, they're on the road every other day for weeks at a time.
Right.
And so right now I see my husband maybe once every 2 weeks. I saw him last week for 6 hours. And I'm like miserable right now. I love him to death. And I'm supportive of him and I'm proud of all he's doing. But, you know, sometimes I sit at home and I'm like, dang.
She has something she wants to say real quick.
I got engaged last night.
You notice one thing about all of these women. I'm going to tell you one thing. Number one, they're not all fighting for attention. That's the first thing I noticed about them sitting there talking. Number two, the way that they carry themselves, the way that they speak, it's not ratchet. They don't have that ghetto black chick shit popping off. Number three, every last one of them motherfuckers are married to balling ass motherfuckers. Do the math. 1 + 1 = 2. Their attitude, their demeanor, they're not sitting there talking shit about their man. They're not talking shit themselves. They not, oh, ain't no motherfucker gone. You don't see none of that shit. They know how to carry themselves in a public setting. They're not talking cash shit. They have respect. And they are literally big upping and supporting each other. And every last one of them women up there in their own right got their own thing going. You got the mother who's like, I set the stage for all this shit for all y'all motherfuckers. And you got them young girls who appreciate that and they realize that. Yeah, you got Steph's wife, Ayesha. Yep, your husband is king shit right now. He the hottest motherfucker in the league, one of the greatest players of all time. We get that. But the other girls, they not sitting there trying to worry about her and trying to big up her and trying to compete with her. They're enjoying their own lives. Yep, I'm with your man's brother. And we building our life together. Yep, I'm married to this other dude. And the dude that she's married to, the dude that Seth is married, that Seth just got engaged to, that's Doc Rivers' daughter. So that just goes to show you the type of relationship that the Currys and Doc and them had when Doc was in Golden State. Just saying.
You got engaged last night. That's a perfect ring for you. It's so pretty on your finger.
And did he pick that out on his own?
Yes,
Or did he have help?
No, he picked it out.
That's Seth,
So break it down. I mean, how did it happen?
We went to dinner. It was the longest dinner ever because I feel like he was super nervous, so he kept like pushing it back. Yeah. He ordered a cappuccino at the end, which I've never seen him drink a cappuccino ever.
Right.
First cappuccino, and then after it, actually, you guys were kind of in it because he was like, hey, did you ever get back to the girl that asked about what you wanted to be called on the Red Table Talk? And I was like, yeah, I just said girlfriend. I'm asking because I want you to be able to say that you're my fiance. And I was like, wait, what? And then he said stuff, but I don't remember because I started crying. Aww. But I do remember him saying, I love you. And I remember him saying something about...
Yes, and I'm just going to point out these two things real quick that I just seen in the chat. You see what Left Third said? Steph Curry's mom still look good. 53 years old, sitting up there with 4 other women that are younger and would, in a lot of people's eyes, say, hey, more attractive. Still a dude can pick it out and say, she's still attractive. She still look good. That's all I'm saying. That just proved my point. The fact that you get old is how you carry yourself and what you bring to the table. That woman's 30 years in with her husband. It's been ups and downs, lefts and right, forwards and backs. I'm quite sure she got a story to tell. And everything ain't all rosy on both sides of the motherfucking fence. I guarantee it. From both points of view. I guarantee it. But they kept what's most important at the forefront. And there is a certain level of happiness that comes along with that. And she's not trying to compete with them young girls. She like, y'all bitches better hope y'all get to where I'm at. She understands her place. And that's one of the biggest things that a lot of our women have a problem with. You don't know your place. And ain't nothing wrong. People think, well, that's demeaning. You're going to put somebody in their place. No. It's good when you know what your niche is. It's good when you know the part that you play, especially on a team, because that's where your true value is. Everybody can't be out front. That was one of the things that I love that Chris Rock did in his last stand-up. Sometimes, motherfucker, you got to be the tambourine player. And what he said, what he meant by that was just saying a lot of times, hey, you can't be the lead singer. Hey, a lot of times you can't be the front man. A lot of times you can't be the lead guitar. Sometimes you just got to be that motherfucker in the back with the tambourine. And a lot of times that's just how life is. And that's okay. Because when you know your place and you know your lane that you need to be in, then you can master that. And that brings value to what it is that you do and what you are part of. If all you can be is a tambourine player, be the best motherfucking tambourine player to where they say, hey, I don't give a fuck what y'all do, we still gotta have that tambourine. That's all it is. It's like features. Features and benefits. It's like when you're talking to, look at me, I'm back in my salesman shit. When you're looking at features and benefits, those things may not be the most important thing, but they're the thing that make people stay with what it is that they're going, that you want them to stick and stay with. A person who likes a fast car can appreciate a fast engine, but I don't want a fast car that looks like a piece of shit. I want a good paint job. I want sleek lines. I may want a convertible. Those are features and benefits. A convertible may not make or break everybody. I don't have to have a convertible, but I sure would like one. So if I can get a fast car that's a convertible, I'm gonna stick and stay with that fast car that's a convertible. Because that's what I want. That's an important feature to me. I like the benefits of it. I like my hair blowing in the wind. Knowing your place will get you so far in life. Knowing the lane to stay in will take you so far in life. It will be mind-boggling. You never know where your gifts and your talents will take you to, and where you'll end up with it. Just like this lady Nicole said, something nice and cozy to come home to every night. Not no hostile fighting shit every night. That's it. She ain't giving you a whole bunch of shit. You gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do. She's just saying, just being nice. Having a nice environment, a cozy home to come home to every night. No hostile fighting shit. All that going back and forth. Where the fuck you been? All that type of shit. Nigga, you ain't shit. I know what the fuck you do. All that shit. It's a fucking downer and a turnoff. Huge to most men. And she says to top it off, plus a little spontaneous sex. Hey, instead of you letting me watch the game, you want to be next to me, suck my dick while I watch the game. You sitting here with me, you watching the game, I'm watching football on a Sunday, whatever, at halftime, put your pussy in my mouth, whatever the case may be. But there has to be those things that make it worthwhile, because that's the difference. Every woman got titties and ass. That's a given. There's always a bigger ass, there's always bigger titties, there's always a better shape, there's always a better hair, there's always better sex, there's always something better with somebody else. But it's those intangibles. She's nice. She takes care of me. She loves on me. She's fucking loyal. I always say loyalty is everything to me. And most men will say that. Loyalty is everything. So when you do get that young chick that's trying to give you some pussy, you'll be like, yeah, but no, you ain't worth it. Yeah, I know your titties look big and your titties look good, whatever, but yeah, this one I got at home, she loyal and she take care of me. That's the difference. I don't know why I got stuck there, but I just needed to say that. There are those intangible things that women today have forgotten, and that's why you have things like hoes are winning. Because it's the same thing. If all I get from you when I come home is a 40-year-old hollering, nagging, talking shit, ain't doing shit for me, and when I ask her to do some shit with me, it's always a fucking problem, and I gotta go through all of this shit with you, I got the same thing happening with a fucking 22-year-old. Except her pussy tighter. Except she don't cost as much. Except she's a much simpler person. Yeah, she still talks shit. Yeah, I still got to do the back and forth for her, just like I got to do with your ass. Yeah, she probably fucking some other dude too. But then again, maybe you are as well. So what do I have to lose? That's why hoes are winning. Because women who are at home, y'all still think that a motherfucker owe you everything. And it's not a fucking partnership. It's a fucking, I'm a diva. And you get to the point to where, you so good, and yeah, you look so good and all that, but you get to a point to where your looks ain't that good and there's other options out there to where you ain't the favorite no more. That's just like LeBron James. Do you realize that people are saying, and the rumor is that everybody's trying to say shit? If I was the Lakers, I'd think about trading them. There was a time when you wouldn't even consider trading LeBron James. But you know what happened? Time. LeBron is still a great basketball player. But because he's getting older, the other things about him aren't as good because he don't run as fast, he don't jump as high, he don't move as quick. So now you look at other things. What type of a teammate is he? Do he make the people around him better? Is he a pleasant person? Is he coachable? Because now shit changes with him as a player. You got to bring other things in to help him win. And everybody can adjust. That's one of the best things I always tell people about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had killer instinct, but he had killer work ethic, and he was coachable. And he made people around him better. Kobe didn't. Kobe didn't make nobody around him better. Kobe was too busy trying to emulate Mike. LeBron don't make people around him better. He's a great teammate. He has great basketball vision. He's probably one of the smartest basketball players of all time, if not the smartest. But when you look at what he brings to the table now, today, there are other factors that you would like for him to have that he don't necessarily possess. He still want to coach the team. He still want to put the players on the team. He still want to be the person that runs the team from from front to back. Can't do that and we ain't winning, pimp. I'm just saying. Still got a lot of great basketball left in him. But now those scales are starting to tilt. And it's hard to find balance when all you've been doing is this. When all you've been doing is relying on your looks. When you get older, it's hard to find personality. When all you've been relying on is your fat ass. When you get older, it's hard to find kindness. When you used to having everything your goddamn way, it's hard to later on be a team player. It's hard to share. It's hard to do for others when your entire life everybody's been doing for you. We've all been bending over backwards to satisfy you. Now you're getting a little bit older. Maybe you should start doing for other people. It's hard to do that when you've never done it.
About being a good mom. Wow. And then I wasn't answering. He said, will you marry me? But I was crying and I was just like wrapped up. And then he was like, wait, will you marry?
Let me point that out. One of the things he said when he was proposing to her, talked about how beautiful she was and all that good stuff. But one of the biggest things she said was that she remembered, because she was overwhelmed with emotion, was that she's a good mom. I cannot tell you the comfort that I have knowing that when I leave my daughter with my wife, she ain't cussing out, she ain't calling her no little bitch, she ain't going off on her, she ain't beating her ass, she ain't knocking her upside her head, she ain't telling her to get the fuck away from me while I watch my reality TV shows, while I watch Pink Teacup, while I'm watching Chicago Inc. I ain't got to worry about that. That type of shit is priceless. You can't put no dollar amount on that. You can't put it's so valuable that it's invaluable. You can't put a value to it. You can't quantify that. Knowing that my kid is being not only taken care of, but is being nurtured when I'm not there, it gives you a peace of mind. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I just said girlfriend. I'm asking because I want you to be able to say that you're my fiance. And I was like, wait, what? And then he said stuff, but I don't remember it, because he was like, hey, did you ever get back to the girl that asked about what you wanted to be called on the Red Table Talk? And I was like, yeah, I just said girlfriend. I'm asking because I want you to be able to say that you're my fiance. And I was like, wait, what? And then he said stuff, but I don't remember because I started crying. Aww. But I do remember him saying, I love you. And I remember him saying something about being a good mom. Aww. And then I wasn't answering. He said, will you marry me? But I was crying and I was just like wrapped up. And then he was like, wait, will you marry me? And I was like, yes, stand up. Wow. And then we went back to the hotel and like our whole families were there.
We're very obnoxious.
That sparkles like, whew. How do y'all deal with all the ladies around y'all men? How do you deal with that?
Say we're out in the club, and some girl, it's up in his face. I kind of liked it, because to me, it was kind of like, this my man.
Right.
And you ought to be attracted to my man, and I'm okay with that, as long as my man standing beside me and making me feel good. But if my man turned around and was like, oh, da, 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 which happened a couple times, I'd be like, hold up, no, wait. And I would solve it. I'm always one to solve things right then. I could be like, you need to back up, and you need to make her back up. And so we would just solve that right there.
Right. Stefan is like very nice by nature, and
Now here's my thing. 30 years. Have y'all ever heard of or seen in the newspaper, heard on the internet, seen on Facebook, seen on live, seen on World Star Hip Hop, even though that shit just came about? Have you ever heard of some shit of Steph Curry's mom or Dale Curry's wife japping the fuck out on a bitch at a club? Fighting a bitch somewhere at a store? Have you ever seen that? No, you haven't. Because even though she talked about checking a chick, she knows how to do it. To where she's not embarrassing herself or her husband.
he's very talkative. He's just like you. He gets it from his mama. And so, like, everything's always, like, very, very friendly. And sometimes to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm a grown woman, so I'll just insert myself and be like, hello, how are you doing?
Right.
Like, I'm okay with it now. And I've obviously, you know, like, the devil is a liar. And there's always, like, the ladies will always be lurking.
Right.
Hoping for their moment and waiting. You need to be aware of that.
Right.
But for me, I honestly hate it. I don't like when I feel like leveled off with somebody.
Exactly.
It just irks my nerves. And so like we had the conversation about it, and he like tries really, really hard to make sure that if we're going somewhere, I'm being introduced. Like
Exactly.
I don't like to have to introduce myself. It irks my nerves. So we try and
So let me stop and say this here. And here's where it gets, here's where she needs a reality check. Number one, first and foremost, I understand why she may want to feel the way that she feels. However, you have to realize where you're at and who you're with. You are with one of the most popular people on the planet. Plain and simple. Steph Curry is one of the most loved, most popular. I mean, he is a professional athlete, and he's extremely good at what he does. For you to want to feel just as big as him, I get it, but it's unrealistic. Even Jada Pinkett Smith understands that she ain't bigger than Will. And Jada, in her own right, has her own accomplishments. She's done her thing. She has a name. She is a true, bona fide, certified, self-made celebrity. But she is, without a shadow of a doubt, married to Will Smith, who is a bigger celebrity. For Ayesha, you not a celebrity. You just not. You're not a celebrity. And I don't understand, just because you feel you are a celebrity's wife. Just like Juanita Jordan. She was a celebrity's wife. She was a basketball star, basketball legend's wife. That's the role. That's the position. You are a tambourine player. Sorry. Fact of the matter is, too, Dale, Seth, his sister, they are all band members, and Steph is, at this point in time, the lead singer of the band, of the group. Despite what everybody want to say and all the shit you want to talk, she is a background or just say cowbell. That's just what it is. Problem is that she doesn't understand that ain't a bad thing. Because Steph being who he is and where he's at in life right now, that's a gift and a curse. Hear me. It's a gift and a curse. Because just as much notoriety, just as much pub, just as much celebrity that he got, there's the other side to that too. That line that you have to walk to where you can't fuck up. You can't have a bad moment. You can't have a bad day. You can't do the wrong thing. Because if you do, it's going to be blown way the fuck out of proportion. And that's one of the burdens LeBron James has. And I'm so surprised in today's world. That's one of the things I give LeBron the utmost kudos with. I haven't seen a celebrity that big as LeBron is to not have no fuck ups. His mama done fucked up way more than he has. And he still ain't had nan one. That dude flies so straight and narrow or under the radar, whatever the fuck, he know how to move in this world. Because the world is waiting on him to do some shit, some fuck shit, so that they can blow that shit all the way up. But he knows that. And Steph knows that. So it is what it is, but you have to realize that that's the life you've chosen. And that's the position you have to play, unfortunately. And with that comes its advantages and disadvantages. The pros and cons. And that's not a bad thing. Nothing can be 100%. Nothing can be just perfect where you got everything that you want and this too. So I don't understand why basketball wives, why football player wives, all of you celebrity wives, y'all got to understand that, yeah, you in a position that most women would kill to be in. Recognize that and play your position. This ain't about you having equal celebrity as Steph, because you don't get the fuck up and go dribble a ball to the point to where it's a part of your fucking muscle memory the way you can do the shit with your eyes closed. You don't shoot fucking threes. You don't go to practice. You don't go to games and bang and fall on the floor and dive and do all this shit you got to do to get to where he was at. While he was shooting in the gym 2, 3, 4, 5 threes and jump shots a day, your ass was either at home or you was sitting in the stands. Go ahead, baby. That's all you was doing. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But you don't get the same celebrity that he gets because you didn't work the way that he worked. You just don't. If you want that type of celebrity, then you got to pick up a ball. You got to pick up a bat. You got to pick up a football or some shoulder pads or something. You got to go out there and play that position if you want that type of celebrity. You don't get that shit for free, Ayesha. And I believe that there's a part of you that recognizes that. And what I think is just what whatchamacallit said back up here is that society is fucking your head up. To where you so caught up in what's happening in social media, and you so caught up with what's happening when you out with your husband and his celebrity, to where you want that too, and you don't get that. Society ain't set up like that. The way the society is set up, or your checking and savings is set up, it don't do that. Don't get caught up in that, because what you're doing and the way that you should be thinking is like Steph mama. She knew, I'm going to play this position. I'm going to play this role. And I'm going to help my husband, my friend, my lover, my confidant, my king. I'm going to help him build this legacy. To the point to where she is now. Good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent. She's the fucking queen of her fucking kingdom. She is. All y'all motherfuckers need to pay her some homage because she's greatly responsible for all that shit. Cause while Dale ass was out traveling for shooting for playing basketball for them 82 games throughout the year, being gone 2-3 weeks at a time, she was at home raising little Seth and their sister. I forgot her motherfucking name. I think it was Sida or Cedar or some shit like that. She was raising them. She was making sure they was doing their homework. They was learning how to read. They was knowing how to treat people, being good kids, being nice. She was the one going to fucking PTA meetings, going to motherfucking soccer practice, basketball practice, carrying this one to volleyball practice, going to this game, going to that game, while Dale was out stroking. He was probably stroking both ways. But nevertheless, he still did what was best for his family. That's all I'm saying. And I think that she kind of knows that, but she's so caught up in the internet and society that she thinks that she's being cheated or she's being, cast aside or overlooked. Girl, you got to get your own thing and do your own thing and pimp that shit like Jada is doing.
I try and make that known. But there have been a couple of times where I've wanted to like punch somebody in the face for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
That's human nature. It's never him. It's always the other person.
It's always the other ones.
And he doesn't necessarily know how to deal with that because he's like he's
just a nice guy,
nice human being,
and he just wants everybody to be cool.
Coming. Yeah, he can't see it coming. I see it from a mile away.
How did you deal with it, Mama?
How did I deal with groupies?
With the groupies around Daddy.
You know what? I really didn't.
I know I was.
She was more, Willow.
When I was with him, I was like,
this one.
That is
this
so funny.
one.
Okay, I remember when Willow was like 5 or 6. And one of Will's co-stars was in his trailer, and she came in there, she jumped in her father's lap, and she looked at the co-star, and she said, "My mother's going to be here very soon." And I remember Will telling me the story. I cracked up. I said, how is it that daughters specifically...
I always knew, though. I always was like...
tune in. Yeah. She always even till this day, she'll be like...
I always know. That's the funny thing.
Who is that, Ma? I be like, you talk to your dad about that one, boo. Talk to your daddy. There was only like 1 or 2 times where I might have gotten a little hostile, where I felt like people, they stepped over a boundary and they were disrespectful. Now we got an issue, because I know who I am.
Yes.
And more importantly, he knows who I am.
Exactly. And that is very important right there. She knows who she is. She knows what she brings to the table. She knows what she means to that man. And that man knows that. Yeah, these bitches is trying to rub their titties up against me when they take these selfies. Yeah, these women are sliding their numbers in my hand and in my pocket and all that bullshit. I get that. But I know who you are. Do you? That's what's important. That's what it all comes down to. Because men will know what that means. At the end of the day, these side bitches, these hoes, these scallywags, these Tatianas, all them shits, they out there and they ain't going nowhere. But what's most important is what I got at home. My queen, my boo thing, my girlfriend, my woman, you all that to me. And that's what she's saying. And only a woman who knows who she is can be content and can be fulfilled with that and understand who he is and say it is what it is. This is the business we've chosen. This is the life we've chosen. And just like the young lady said, she wishes she had an everyday dude. No, the fuck she don't. She loves being Steph Curry's motherfucking wife. She just wants Steph's celebrity. And that don't come like that. It don't come like that. You look at the Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is a huge celebrity. And at one point, she was the #1 celebrity. But what's the little young one now? She's the one that's stepping up and taking the throne. What is it? It ain't Chloe. What is it, Chloe? Kendall Jenner. I think that's her name. Kendall Kardashian, whatever. That young one. She more popular, made more money. She done made more money faster. That's just the nature of things. But at the end of the day, they mama in her own right did her thing. She stayed in her lane. She played the game the way she needed to play it, to where she did what she had to do. No, she may not be as popular as her daughters are in today's world, But in her own right, she done set the stage for all them little young girls to do their thing. Kylie, there we go. That's just how it is. She's not caught up in, oh, I need to be just as big as my daughters. I gotta get my Instagram popping too. Let me go in this motherfucking bathroom of this Logan's and take this selfie with my ass out and making the fish lips so I can get a bunch of likes. Mama Kardashian ain't doing that stupid shit. She not trying to be in motherfucking Kim's motherfucking Instagram and getting her Instagram popping through Kim. She not doing that shit. She's sitting back, staying in her lane, being who she needs to be for her daughters. Because believe it or not, Northwest, Chicago West, all them other little girls, they gonna be bigger than they mamas. Should they choose that path? It's just that simple. If Will Smith's sons wanted to be actors and doing their thing, they picking up that shit whenever they want to. Jaden Smith could be in just as many movies and could be doing his thing. He doing what the fuck he want to do. Chasing after Tyler, the Creator, and all that shit and wearing dresses. That's what he want to do. That dude done already been in blockbuster movies. Just because Will's my dad. Whenever he wants to, he could be just as big as his daddy. Just like Willow. Willow had that motherfucker. She had a #1 hit. That twist my hair back and forth and all that shit. That was a fucking hit. She didn't want to fucking rap no more and sing no more. She was like, nah, this ain't for me. I'm good. I think she had Jay-Z producing her motherfucking ass, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. She's doing what she want to do. She has that power to do that. Because she grew up in it. Thing about Ayesha ain't grew up in this shit. So she's still wanting that attention. You don't need no attention. You got more than what you can bargain for. You got more than what you can handle right now. You got kids. You got your own, pimp your cooking thing. And when it comes to that attention thing or whatever, that was, Tommy said something that was very, very smart and very true. You want some motherfucking men attention and some likes and shit, do workout videos. Do some workout Instagram pics. Niggas gonna be all over that. Cause niggas like ass. It's a fact. That girl who got technically the sweetest ass ever, got the most likes, she the largest motherfucker on Instagram and all that shit, getting the most likes and all that. She ain't doing shit but working out. Showing her ass. They say she has the best ass in the world. And all she does is fucking exercise videos or exercise pictures every day. She goes around the fucking country doing exercise poses and she gets likes and all that shit. You could do the same fucking thing if that's what you really wanted. It's that simple. But you in your lane. That's all. Yeah, I get you. Very true. She has her man, he chose her, and you chose him. Be happy and forget them haters. Exactly, because all them bitches ain't doing nothing but wanting to be in your spot. And you should know that, and with you knowing that, you should know the position that you in. At the end of the day, Ayesha mentality is every last one of you bitches want to be me. That's exactly the way she needs to carry herself. If I could speak to Ayesha on the phone or speak to her face to face, that's what I would tell her. You have to realize that every woman out here that is close to, want to get close to, like you, like your man, they want one thing that you already got. They want to be in your position. That's it. So you should never have to worry about somebody giving you attention, somebody looking at you. Every man, everyone, they want to be in your spot. And the dudes that would look at you, want to sleep with you, they out there. Every nigga out there want to sleep with you just because you Steph's wife. So you shouldn't feel that kind. You shouldn't feel in no shape, form, or fashion that a motherfucker got some shit against you or ain't noticing you. Everybody know who you are. Just like people used to talk about motherfucking Michelle Obama. Ooh, Michelle fine, Michelle this, Michelle that. Y'all motherfuckers, the biggest get about Michelle is that Michelle is the president's wife. She's the first lady. And that's the same thing for you. You the first lady of the NBA. You and motherfucking LeBron James' wife, and you more popular than LeBron's wife. You way more out front than LeBron. I don't even know how LeBron's wife look. Honestly, God, you can show me a picture. She can walk past me today. I wouldn't even know. She's singing in the background. That's what she doing. Singing in the background. That's it. Everybody can't be a lead singer. Everybody, you might have a solo every now and then. Let your solo be your chef thing. Let your solo be your cooking. Let your solo be your restaurants. Pimp that shit. Get your ass on Food Network. Have your own thing. Because it's not that you're trying to surpass stuff. You're just trying to do something that you can say, hey, that's me. That's me doing my thing. That's me being my best in my thing when I'm not being my Mama Steph. If I'm not being, not Mama Steph, but if I'm not being Mama Curry to my kids, if I'm not being Mrs. Curry to my husband, when I'm being Ayesha, that's me right over there. And that's what Jada has. When Jada ain't with Will being Mrs. Smith, when Jada ain't with her kids being Mama Pinky or Mama Jada Pinkett and all that shit, she can say, God damn it, I got the Matrix. God damn it, I got a different world. God damn it, I got Low Down Dirty Shame. I love that Low Down Dirty Shame. I got motherfucking Red Table Talk. I got those. That's me being me. That's the version, that's the best version of myself without my family. When I ain't with them, that's me. That's the way I present myself. That's who I am. That's what I do. And she's content with that because that's truly her. That's her and her most authentic self. But she knows who she is and she knows the position that she plays. So yeah, when it's time to go to the fucking Academy Awards, I know I'm Jada Smith, but I'm Will's wife. She knows that. Yeah, when we go to this premiere for this movie, yeah, I'm Jada Pinkett Smith, but I'm Will's wife. And she and I get the fact that there's a part of her that's trying to compete with that. You ain't gonna get that type of attention. And then there's a piece too that I'm gonna just call the thing what it is and just tell the truth. There is a part of her that needs to, hey, get you a personal trainer and get your body tight. The way you feel about yourself, the way that you look at yourself in the mirror, you ain't 1000% confident and happy with that. Tighten that shit up. You got enough money where you can have probably one of the best trainers in the world to come and get your shit together. And in 6 months to a year's time, you could have a body that's a knockout like the rest of these motherfucking Tatianas out there. And they'll be like, damn, she look good and she got money and she got some sense and she a nice person and she got kids and all that stuff too. Damn, she really is winning. That's all.
Right? So the responsibility really is more on the men.
Think the men, but also you have to have a internal space of confidence. It's like, because at the end of the day, that's part of it. Yep. A lot of women will get, bad reps for being gold diggers or what have you, right? So you realize how for procreation, men, when they see beautiful women and beautiful bodies, they react because it's a primal thing. Well, when women see power, it's the same thing. It's not about gold digging. It's a primal response. Mm-hmm. This guy can build a house. Mm-hmm. He can help. He can help my survival. My life. It's primal. I've had to put myself in Will's shoes at times and go, whoo, woo! If I had all these pretty women throwing themselves at me, what would I do? Right? baby. Whoa, okay. Now, you know, when I really looked at it that way, I really had to have more compassion and more understanding.
Something that really bothers me and like honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that, yeah, like there are all these women like throwing themselves, but me, like the past 10 years, like I don't have any of that. Like I have zero, this sounds weird, but like male attention. And so then
you shouldn't have that being the thing that you're weighing in on. And I get what she's trying to say is that, yeah, you got all these women looking at Steph. Yeah, you got all these women throwing themselves at Steph, and ain't no dudes looking at you saying, damn, girl, your ass fat as hell. Damn, she fine, Joe. Like they do with Kim Kardashian. Let's just call it what it is. You got Kim Kardashian and Kanye West walking out, two celebrities. Kanye West got a #1 song out. Yep, he the biggest star, but Kim Kardashian is acknowledged just as much as not Steph, but just as much as Kanye West is. And I believe that is what she was saying. That's what she was saying. She was saying that she doesn't have that rivaling celebrity. She shouldn't though, because she don't do what Kim Kardashian does. So no, you ain't gonna get that type of attention. You look at, do you realize that worldwide, Giselle, Tom Brady's wife, is a bigger celebrity than Tom Brady? She make more money. She's a bigger celebrity than Tom Brady is worldwide. Now here in the States, fucking Boston or some shit like that, New England where the shit is pop. Yep, I get it. But Giselle is a bigger celebrity than her husband, Tom Brady. But you know what Tom Brady does? Tom Brady stays in his lane. He pimps that football shit to the point to where, yeah, you right, Giselle, you can have all that and got the world. We go to France and I know motherfuckers gonna be crazy about you and all. You go to Italy, you popping. Bring your ass over here to motherfucking to Boston on a Sunday. Fuck with me on a Sunday and we'll see who got more people watching them. That's because Tom Brady has his thing. So he's not threatened by Giselle's money. He's not threatened by Giselle's celebrity. He don't give a fuck because he has channeled who he is and he presents himself in his best form as himself on a football field every Sunday. Because when the Patriots play, everybody's watching. Patriots go to the Super Bowl. I got 5 Super Bowl rings, Giselle. Now, tell you this much. 15, 20 years from now, Tom Brady name gonna still be ringing in them streets. Giselle's won't. You know how I know? Because motherfuckers don't talk about Bo Derek no more. Motherfuckers don't talk about Brooke Shields no more. Motherfuckers don't talk about them no more because beauty is fleeting. It just is. It just is. However, what Tom Brady has built will live on forever. Forever. They'll be talking about, my children will be talking about Tom Brady. My children's children will be talking about Tom Brady. You know how I know? Because people still talk about Mr. Lombardi. Vince Lombardi is still talked about to this day. That's just a fact. Joe Namath is still talked about to this day. Walter Payton, dead and gone, still talked about to this day. That's my point. In their own right, in your own lane, you reign supreme. Because if Ayesha applied herself and became one of the best chefs in the country, she could become one of the best chefs in the world. She could be rubbing shoulders with Wolfgang Puck, Bobby Flay. Right? Right. Guy Fieri. That's my point. What's the dude from Hell's Kitchen? She would be amongst them. No, she may not be as big as Steph Curry, but I bet you when she go to France, motherfuckers gonna be all on her shit a little bit more so than they are on Steph. Yeah, we want to take this picture with Steph. Yep. Yeah, we take this picture with Steph. Thanks for the selfie, man. But let her go somewhere where she doing her thing and she cooks. Everybody and their mom go, oh shit, she cooking. You let Bobby Flay go somewhere and break out some pots and pans in the right setting, he gonna be the motherfucking man. That's just how it is. Kim Kardashian at Fashion Week is a bigger thing than Kanye at Fashion Week. Giselle at Fashion Week is bigger than Kim Kardashian at Fashion Week. That's how it goes. So when you're doing your thing, when you have your own thing, all this shit she's talking about, it don't matter. It just don't matter. So all I'm saying to her is she needs to work on herself more, to have more of her be able to when that would compensate for what it is that she thinks she's missing out on. She has so many tools, she has so many connections, she has so many resources at her fucking fingertips that she shouldn't even have to think about this. This should be nothing but an afterthought. Well, why did you start doing this, Ayesha? Well, I figured I wanted to do something. I wanted to get myself out there. I wanted to do something for me. I wanted to do something that was just all about me. So this is why I went and did that. So I had one of the best chefs in the country, Chef Bouvier, whatever the fuck his name is. He came to my house and we had a state-of-the-art culinary kitchen put in, and I learned to cook. I paid Bobby Flay for 3 years to come to my house and teach me how to cook. That's how I became one of the best chefs in the country. What you gonna say to that? Shit, bitch, you got the money to do it. Steph worth 2, 3, 4, 500 million? Shit, hey, what you gonna do? That's the difference. And that's what she needs to do. Do your thing. And yes, she could lose some weight. And if she wants to lose some weight, if she gets that type of attention, you can. You want that type of attention? Then lose some weight. Just like the chick who got all the number ones. What's her name? I can't think of her damn name. She got them, her and Drake going back and forth about the most number ones. She's Adele. Adele's a little bit more heavyweight. Still, most number ones of all time. She's not concerned about her weight because her talent and her gift is what makes room for her. No, Adele got more whatchamacallit than her. Off the dome. She got more number ones than her. Only person that got her and Drake have been going back and forth for like the past 2 or 3 years because they've been getting the most number ones. They've been going back and forth. But she has the most number. Adele got like 22 or 24 or some shit like that. Google it. She got more number ones than her. But the thing is that she still has her own thing. Is she a fucking size 2? No, she's not. That's my point. She's not a size 2, but she, at the end of the day, is a motherfucking giant in her own lane. You can't talk about female singers today and talk about the best singers of all time and not mention her name. She has the numbers to prove it. That's why when people talk about the greatest of all time and all that kind of shit, you ain't gonna be able to talk about the greatest of all time and not mention Drake. Just saying. He said Kevin Durant got his eyes on Adele. Hey boy, it'd be a hell of a move for him. It would. If he got with Adele, it would enhance his career off the court. It would enhance his celebrity off the court. Why? Because her celebrity with his, boom. It would enhance her celebrity. It would make her popping just a little bit more. When they go out, they're going to get a little bit more paparazzi. Just saying. But let's go ahead and
I begin to internalize it, and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
You're
like,
not looking.
What?
You're not
Like,
looking.
You're not even. But I'm gonna tell you something.
Bullshit. She is looking. That's why she said it, and that's why I call bullshit right there. In her mind, and the way she, and I'm gonna say this to her defense, she knows how to carry herself, cause she ain't dotting it up. She ain't putting on these nasty ass clothes, showing her titties and taking selfies with her ass poked out and making fish. She ain't doing all that stupid shit to embarrass herself or her husband, but she thinking about it, because if she wasn't thinking about it, she wouldn't have said it. So they talking about, nah, girl, you ain't looking. Nah, when that bitch is out somewhere, she wishing that a nigga be looking at her ass, or she'll catch a nigga trying to holler. That's what she's saying she want. She definitely thinking about that shit. There is a desire for her to have somebody jocking on Ayesha just a little bit.
Something else too. When your radar's turned off, because I dealt with that for years too. Like, and I was young, like you.
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh my
not
god.
fair.
I mean,
because I don't want it, but it'd be nice to know that like someone's looking.
But when you're
she ain't trying to switch dicks, but she would definitely like to see a few pointed in her direction. That's what she's saying. She would like to see a few niggas, not to say she trying to jump ship, she know where her bread is buttered, but she would like to have a few niggas trying to holler. That's all she's saying. And what I'm telling her, what I'm telling you, Ayesha, is if you want that, then get on your shit. Level up yourself. That's all you gotta do. She want that shit though. That's what she's saying. Them motherfuckers just schmoozed it over and covered it up. But she do want it. And let me just say this. The problem, because I understand what she's saying, here's the problem that I have with what she's saying. You're a wife, you're a mother, and most importantly, you're a partner and a friend to your husband. Your husband is playing in the NBA playoffs at this moment. This is the last thing he need to deal with. This is the last thing he need to hear. This is the last thing he need to hear on the court. This is the last thing he need to hear in the locker room. This is the last thing he need to see on Twitter. This is the last thing he need to see on Facebook. This is the last thing he need to see on Instagram, is this shit. And what she did, and at the time in which she did it, was fucked up. That's all. That's all. This shit, and I don't know if she shot this shit a few days ago, if she shot it a few weeks ago. This is at a bad time to be out, to be dealing with this. It's a bad time to do it. And that's the problem that I had with this. Your husband is doing his job and is trying to do his thing. And he's trying to keep being the best version of himself in what he does. And he got to deal with this shit now too. And that is not fair to him.
radar's turned off. Yeah. Right, that can get real dangerous. Don't ever think for 1 minute that it ain't some men out there looking at you like, I wish. Honestly. And I'm going to tell you who knows that more than anybody. Your husband.
Exactly. And Jada was so right with this, because now that's what niggas can fuck with him about. Yeah, nigga, you hit that 3 in my face, but how about I send your bitch a DM? How about I send your wife a DM, Joe? Say what you want to say. Steph is a nice guy and all that shit, but don't nobody want to hear that shit. I don't want no nigga telling me talking about they gonna hit my wife up in her DM, or they been hitting my wife up in her DM, giving her the attention that she asking for. I don't want to hear that shit. Especially if I'm trying to compete for a fucking NBA championship. I'm about to go into the finals. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to deal with that shit. I got too much shit weighing on me. Trying to stay healthy, trying to stay on top of my game, trying to come out of fucking shooting slump. I'm trying to do all this shit, and I got to pile on and deal with this shit now too. That shit ain't good. And it's fucked up. Because you want some attention. Right, Kodak Black waiting around the corner. He ain't gonna wait no year on this one. Kodak Black like shit. Steph ain't dead. I'm gonna shoot my shot in a week. That's all I'm saying. And I think that she may not have had the intention of doing that at this time, or having it have the effect that what it will have, but nevertheless, it happened. Nevertheless, it's here. And nevertheless, that is a reality. Don't no man want to deal with that shit. For being more than stuff. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And she can. But that's on her to build that for herself. And she has an unsurmountable amount, is that right? Unsurmountable or insurmountable? Of tools at her disposal to do so.
I want to ask a question now. All of you made the decision not to travel with your husbands.
I have the ability with my career to.
Let me tell you something. Everybody that's talking this Houston about to win shit, I'm taking all bets. Houston ain't about to win this shit. Because I'm going to tell you why. Because Steph is going to be pissed off. Steph is a nice guy. Steph smiles and all that shit. Steph is a competitor. And Steph knows what a loss will mean for them. Watch this motherfucker in this series. And he got KD down too. KD hurt. Watch Steph. But y'all motherfuckers don't forget who was the man in motherfucking Golden State before KD got there. KD's the better player, but don't get it twisted. Steph won without KD, and Steph was the man. Don't y'all be fooled and think that Steph ain't no motherfucking competitor. He that smile in your face, and all the time he lighting your ass up. Don't think it and don't get it twisted that this dude ain't no competitor first. The boy was raised by his daddy. His daddy is a competitor. He done raised some competitors. Steph Curry about to turn this shit on. He about to go Johnny Blaze on these niggas. Watch my feet and watch what I say is true. Flame on. He gone. Watch. KD down. Watch. KD even kind of hurt. Watch this boy light it up. I'm telling you. Call to greatness. Yes. Steph is the greatest shooter of all time, dude. He didn't get there by being a nice guy. Watch this dude feet. That's all I gotta say.
Be able to travel with him and see him here and there, but I feel like if I get used to that, like I'm not going to be present with any other aspect of my life. You know, always on a plane, following him, doing whatever. So I'm really wanting to put myself out there, so make more friends. With my anxiety, like it's really hard for me to meet people.
I definitely have a lot of anxiety in my life,
and I've just developed it within the past 3 years. I've had 5 concussions, and so that's kind of resulted into.
You had 5 concussions.
Playing volleyball, yeah. I got hit in the head and fell on the floor a few times.
So you think that concussions might have contributed?
Yeah, and we could see her behavior change over those 3-4 years.
So the rest of the shit they're gonna be talking about is just talking about anxiety and all that kind of shit. And we ain't got to do all that. That's kind of going away from it. But I just wanted to go over that first part, that first like 15 minutes of this, because that led into her statement and the context in which it was in. So I hope that you can get a better idea of what she was actually talking about and why she said what she said. And I just wanted to point out the pros and cons of what she said and what the things that were problematic about it and what was good about it, because I kind of understood it. And it's a double-edged sword and it cuts both ways, essentially. But I'm going to go ahead and get on up out of here. We're going to wrap this thing up. Let me see if I got some of these young donations. I think somebody done showed me a little love. And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure you click the like. Excuse me. And make sure you hit that Cash App. And yeah, buddy. Let's see here. I don't think ain't nobody showed me no love. Oh no. They done killed Cornbread. Nope. Let me check my PayPal here. And we gonna get on up out of here. Thank you so much. Hell yeah. Damn good dialogue. Just subscribe. Thank you, Aunt Fresh. Is that that's how you say it? Aunt Fresh, that's what's up. Salute to you, man. And anybody else that's watching this that subscribe, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for signing up. That's what's up. Yeah, buddy. Yep, everybody else is pretty much the same, so that's cool. No donations, but I had a good time. I enjoyed myself. Thank you guys so much. That new subscriber just made my day. I appreciate you. And anybody else that subscribed to, who else was in here that was new? Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Anna. I don't think I've ever seen Nicole. Who else? I think it was one other person in here that I hadn't seen before. I can't remember. Was it Amber O? I don't know, but everybody else that has subscribed and checked it out that's new, thank you for subscribing. Check out my content. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. If you're watching on Facebook, click the links and subscribe to my channels. Click the like. I appreciate you guys. I hope that this helps somebody become a better version of themselves. I am Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. And till next time, peace. And I'm out.